Hello YouTube, Luigi here. Many of you who follow my channels know that I do, in addition to direct carving sculptures, one seen here on the table, I do Lego op art, all black and white, and I have a lot of fun with these. And I have gone through, over the years, 7 different adhesives, and that's what we're here to discuss today, the 7 different adhesives. But before I do that, we're going to buzz you through very quickly some of the op art work I've done. We're not going to spend any time on these. This is not about the work. It's about the adhesives, but I want you to see the nature of what it is that I do. This is the only one that's not black and white. I've gone through 7 different types, and it's been an evolution. Okay, I started with Fino Seal. Comes in a caulking tube. It works great once it's cured. It has a 168-hour cure time, which means what? That's a full week, 168 hours, 7 days times 24 hours. So until it really sets up, the piece you're working on remains with some flexure in it. It's not really rigidly cemented together until the cure happens. So I abandoned that at some point. I tried this stuff called glue, meaning Lego glue. It's something a father developed for his son. It is basically a temporary glue, meaning you can take it apart with water, and it's okay if the kid eats it, which tells me it's made out of flour and water or some other milled grain like flour and water. This is very expensive, and I wasn't interested in a temporary solution, although I did go through a jar or 2 of this. Gorilla Glue. I mean super glue. It doesn't have to be Gorilla. Super glue, boy, it's very expensive, number 1, and number 2, you got to be in a well-ventilated area. This stuff will kill you. I mean, really. I used to work alone late at night in the winter in a room with closed windows, and I could just feel myself about ready to pass out. Stay away from this. The glue holds, yes indeed, but it's very, very expensive. Next thing I tried, and I used this for years, General Electric Iron Grip. Comes in a caulking tube. It's 100% silicone, but it's messy and hard to handle. It gets on your hands. It's just, it holds really well. Don't get me wrong, but it's just kind of problematic in terms of handling. But I used it for an awful long time. The next glue I used was Acetone. Wow. I have to say this is actually one of my favorites, even though, once again, used in a well-ventilated area. Okay, so I would pour a little bit of this acetone into a Fiesta-ware custard cup, and with a Q-tip, dip the Q-tip in the acetone, and that Q-tip fits precisely, if you turn a Lego upside down, into those spaces. Now you gotta be careful, because then when you turn the piece up right side up and carry it to your work, if you drip 1 drop over the face of a finished surface, the acetone is going to destroy that finished surface. So you got to be really careful. But basically, I like this because it's fast and it's good. Basically, it's a solvent, and it fuses the ABS plastic together. At least I'm pretty sure that's the plastic used in Legos. I have not ruled this out. I might revisit it. I like it. The material is inexpensive, and it works really well, but you gotta be careful about your drips. Just be careful. And again, use in a well-ventilated area. Then, through the great world of YouTube, I discovered Glidden Gripper. Now, I discovered this as a way to adhere one sheet of styrofoam to another with great results. I mean, much better than, PL300 foam board adhesive. Okay, this stuff is the best. And then I decided to use this with a tiny brush on the underside of the Lego blocks. And this, my God, you couldn't tear this stuff apart with channel lock pliers once it takes hold. This was my favorite forever and ever and ever, my absolute favorite adhesive, Glidden gripper. So what happens? Recently, like a week ago, I run out of Glidden gripper. It's okay, I just buy another quart. I go to the paint store, and the guy hands me a quart of PPG gripper. I said, what's this? He said, oh, PPG bought out Glidden gripper. And I said, well, is it the same stuff? Remember, I'm a die-hard loyal fan of Glidden gripper. I said, well, is it the same? And he says, honestly, he gave me an honest answer. He says, I don't know if they reformulated it. So I took the can and I read every word on the PPG can. I could not find the words bonding primer on it anywhere. And that's what makes this work. It's a bonding primer. So I called up my coatings consultant. When I used to write paint specifications, I had a consultant, Keith Wilhelm, who at the time was in the paint industry, and he knew every single thing there is to know about paint. He's moved on to the chemical industries, but he's still knowledgeable. I called him up, and I said, and he's the guy who introduced me to bonding primers in the first place. I called him up. I explained my problem to him. He says, because he's no longer in the paint industry, he says, listen, you got to research bonding primers. Find the ones that boast superior adhesion to glass and ceramic. That's your product. If it doesn't boast superior adhesion to glass and ceramic, you don't want it. So I go to YouTube, my favorite research tool, research bonding primers, and this is what I find. Sherwin-Williams Extreme Bond Primer. Glass and ceramic. I called up my consultant again. I said, Keith, this is what I found. He says if it talks about superior adhesion to glass, that's your product. Go get it. So, Keith's my consultant. Whatever he says goes. I went out. Actually, there's a Sherwin-Williams store within walking distance of where I live. Walked in. The guy sold me a quart. And I've been a happy Cansper ever since. So that's my history of adhesives in my Lego sculptures. Now, one person told me, why do you glue them together? Don't they just stick together when you smash them together? I said, well, of course they do. So someone's going to pay me thousands of dollars for a Lego sculpture, bring it home, and their hyperactive Riddlin kid is going to tear it apart. And then they're going to call me up and say, well, your thing fell apart. No, I glue them together to make them kid-proof and, in general, idiot-proof. Okay? And durable, lasting works, not demountable, take-apartable. That's my story with adhesives. I still want to say, because I had such great experiences with it, acetone is a close second place. It really, really is. It's just that I've had a few drips that fell down on the side of my finished piece, and it destroyed that nice, shiny Lego finish. All right, everybody. That's my story. Take good care. God bless you. I love you all. Bye-bye.